Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the HamCorp Training Manual. In this episode, we construct the rest of the Autocrafting building and fill it with a ton of new multiblocks that are now available. We also finish off by making some QuarkTech armor and quantum circuits. We are back, and I have just found the bottleneck for my tungsten production, and it was these autoclaves. So I've upgraded them to IV. They are now 16 times faster than they were before, so that should keep up. And now the new bottleneck is probably this chem bath, which I'm going to address today, hopefully. But first, I want to start using these patterns for the advanced SMDs, but I need IV assemblers for that, and I don't really want to make more IV assemblers than the one I have over here. This is the one and only IV assembler I have right now, and instead of making more, I am crafting a large assembling factory, which is this thing. In fact, I should probably make like 2 or 4, I don't know. But I'm making these because these, first of all, can have parallel hatches, which I'll come back to at a later date probably. Unlike a lot of the large multi-blocks, these don't allow tier skipping, I think. So this is just basically for speed. And I can put a multi-amp energy hatch on this, like a 64 amp EV or something, and then it's going to be running basically at ZPM speed, which is going to be way faster than the one single assembler I have right now. As for where to put it, this is something I've been putting off. This building needs expansion, I think. I mean, it needs building, first of all. But yeah, I think this is going to be kind of a tower. I think I'm going to place machines like vertically. Maybe, I'm undecided, because I am going to do some machine spam. I don't know the extent of machine spam that's required for these specific machines, so I'm not sure. We'll see. First I need to craft the large assembling factory anyway, so I'll be back when that's done. I'm going to do a really simple building for now, but I am going to do a proper building later on. I think I might even do a building stream. By the way, the key to making something look grand is to have a lot of empty space that's not being used. That's the plan here. Actually, let's make this a double. This is going to be fast. And that finishes advanced SMDs. Now I need to go through all of my patterns and upgrade them to use advanced SMDs. And the wafers, which I mentioned last time. I still haven't done that. But my god, those two assemblers are lightning fast. It's awesome. Now this page looks pretty complete to me. I'm only missing an ore processing factory, which I'm not going to make. Well, I guess I can just make it for the quest, but whatever. And the nuclear reactor, which I apparently still need to make, but it will be removed in Theta 2. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm on testing version 3 now, by the way, and this can be run on Java 25, which is what I'm doing right now. Anyway, before continuing with progression, I'm gonna make a lot more of these large multi-blocks, because I can, and I should, because single blocks are not cutting it. I'll be back once I have a nice big stash of machines to place. There's gonna be so many machines. Ooh, I just discovered that the program circuit cards here don't actually do anything. They seem to not be able to affect stocking input buses and hatches, but I thought of a way around this, because I know that the program circuit card is going to change the program circuit on input buses if there's a storage bus on it. This is a really simple fix. I just need to add a storage bus and an input bus to every single industrial furnace, and then filter it to something that's never going to be here, like, I don't know, maybe a pork chop. So now items are never ever going to go in here, but the program circuit in this bus is going to change, and that's going to control what program circuit is actually being used. Pretty simple fix, actually. I'm currently in the process of crafting the large ME assembler, and the parts that I need are mostly okay. There's a couple of new things, specifically 2 superconductors. I need to make uranium triplatinum wire. This needs U238 and platinum dust, and I'm not sure I have any uranium. I have uraninite, which needs to be processed into uranium hexafluoride, which I can centrifuge, I guess. And then the depleted uranium hexafluoride gets me U238. So I can make it. It's just, yeah, it's something I haven't done yet, so I thought I'd mention it. And I need to make IV superconductor, which is samarium iron arsenic oxide, which, as you can imagine, needs samarium, iron, arsenic, and oxygen. All of these are okay. I don't know if I have samarium. I do. I have a little bit. I get it from rare earth, So centrifuging rare earth has a chance of samarium. I think it used to be small piles of samarium because I have some, and I don't know where else I could have gotten these from. So I think that recipe's been changed if I had to guess. Anyway, yeah, just thought I'd mention that. These are craftable. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this. This isn't ideal. In fact, I would even say this is bad news. But I did see this coming. I've been ready for this. Some of these rotors have disintegrated. That's why my power gen has gone below profitable. And to solve this, I am making IV dynamo hatches, 16 amp, twinite turbine rotors, which are, by the way, 700% power. And I'm going to upgrade the rotor holder to IV. That means, instead of 12,288 EU per tick, each large gas turbine is going to produce about 57,000. 7 amps of IV, specifically. That's a lot more power. Insanely way more power. Problem is, I also need to upgrade these battery buffers, which I don't really want to do. I don't want to make IV battery buffers. It's kind of stupid. Instead, I can make a power substation, also known as a Lapatronic supercapacitor. This does need palladium, and iridium, which is fine. I have flatline going. It's not an issue. It also needs LUV circuits, so it's a bit pricey. And I need Lapatronic capacitors, which I don't know if I really want to cheap out and go with the EV ones, but I might, because the gargantuan flux thingy is kind of my main storage, so maybe I do cheap out here. But these accept substation dynamos and energy hatches, which are 64 amps each. They also accept laser hatches, which are even more. So I think I need to set up an LSC or a substation over here and then connect everything up like that. As a reminder, the reason I'm not doing this, directly supplying flux plugs, is because I want these to turn off when my power is nearly full. Or my energy storage is nearly full. Guess I gotta craft this first. As for the autocrafting multis, I've got 3 of them so far. I need to make more, but the power situation is a bit more pressing. I'm just waiting on some substation dynamos. Those are gonna go here and probably here, and those are gonna feed the flux plugs. But here's the substation. I'm also gonna use the substation as the guide for when to turn these LGTs on and off, so all of these battery buffers are probably just going to get killed. They don't need to be here. Okay, the twinite turbine rotors are very, very slow to make because I still only have 1 ABS, so that thing is locked in for the next few hours. I'm gonna slowly replace these turbines as I get more twinite rotors, and the power gen's just gonna go up and up and up. It's gonna be great. Anyway, this kind of solves the power issue, so I'm gonna get back to crafting more multi-blocks, and then I will be back at the end with a real big building montage, I think. Oh boy, I use a lot of power now. This is about 1 amp of UV, and I'm making only a bit more than half of that. Good. Very good. Money exists to be spent. Unless you're the CEO like me, then money exists to be in my pocket. Okay, time to put down some machines. Let's begin. That's all of the multis from outside of the clean room. There's still 3 more I need to build, but we'll come back to that. One thing I noticed is that it seems like the large assembling factory is actually the only one that only accepts 1 energy hatch. Maybe there's others, but all of these other ones, they all accept 2 energy hatches. So not only will they be running at ZPM speed, they will also be able to do LUV recipes right now. Still have to wire everything up, of course, but I just wanted to go through and just mention all the different machines. Now this one, the large material press, has a bunch of different modes: bender, compressor, forge hammer, and forming press. These 2 are forge hammer and compressor, not forming press and not bending machine, because there are the cube multis for that. So if I need to tier skip, I'll make another one, but as long as I don't, I'm going to continue to use these. Same thing with the mixer. I never made this type of mixer. I only made the cube mixer. This right here, solidification array. I vaguely remember in FTB interactions that I had to make 1 per solidification type. I hope that's not true here. There's distinct buses and stuff, and you can paint the buses so that they're different colors. and they don't interact. So I hope it works, but I may need more. The large ME assembler. This thing looks pretty cool. Has its own kind of layout. Or not layout, but like it looks, I don't know. Nice design. I like it. And you've seen this before. The extractor. I use this over here, but this is for on-demand stuff. This also has a second mode for canning. I do have some canners, but they are very rarely used, so I think I'll just leave it as it is for now. I have an IV canner over there. If I need to turn it into a multi-block, I'll just tear it down and convert it into a multi-block. Should be totally chill, but I don't really see the need right now. And then these two, the large electromagnet, which is a polarizer or an electromagnetic separator. I feel like this is not really going to be used, so just the polarizer is fine. And finally, the large chemical bath, which is a chemical bath, but it's also an ore washer, but not this one. Now, I wonder if I can place this sideways. Ooh, I can. Okay, that means I can make a sitter. You'll see what that means later. That's just a little taste of what's to come. Anyway, 3 more multis I need to build. A large cutting saw, finally got that done, which means I can probably just get rid of this large cutter. I don't know, it is in some sense faster. Well, it's not actually. This has throughput boosting, which would be faster than the large cutting saw if the large cutting saw had no parallels, which I don't right now. So that is faster, but I can make a parallel hatch and then this should be faster. I don't think I really need the large cutter anymore. Could be wrong, but I don't see the need right now. Also the large engraving laser. This is my biggest bottleneck right now because I'm literally still running MV engravers for some wafers and HV ones for others. So this is going to speed things up massively. And finally, the large circuit assembling facility. This is a multi-block circuit assembler, and it needed an IV circuit assembler to make. So I made that. There was actually nothing stopping me. I was just able to do it, so I did. Now, where do I put these? That's tough. This is not a lot of space, and I don't know how many more clean rooms I'm gonna need. And also, I don't know, like, oh man. How do I scale things? Like, how do I machine spam inside of a clean room? I have no clue. I don't know. I think I'll just, like, put it up, like, here. One there, one here, one here, one here, and then the same thing on this side, if there are more things that need to be in a clean room. Things are going to get shuffled around a lot in here, so maybe I won't do a building montage for the inside, because I'm just going to be digging things up constantly. Right? Yeah, he said yeah. Clean room is cleaned up. Bigly. Like, remember that spaghetti that was down here before? It's all cleaned up. So I made a double cutter because this is a pretty slow recipe, or slow machine after all. And I don't have parallel hatches yet, so things here are just stored in the subnet and auto-pulled. Kind of the same as usual. You could probably also just get away with stocking lubricant and only providing items in the patterns, but I like to have everything be patterned just so I could see if something is missing. I just prefer it that way, just a personal choice. These are double hatched with a 16 and a 1 amp or 2 amp energy hatch. LCR has been moved over here, upgraded to 16 amp IV as well. Large circuit assembling facility is like the large assembler in that it can only accept 1 energy hatch, so that's what it has, 16 amps of IV. And I have the large engraving laser. This has 11 different input buses, and they all have distinct buses on, because otherwise you're gonna have conflicts. Now you may see I have a lead and a fence in my inventory. That's because this employee, he can't reach the machines, so we need to help him out a bit. There we go. Now he can manage these machines. So remember how I said I wanted to do a building stream at the start of this episode? Sorry for literally like negative notice, but I did that. So that's done. And I built this Autocrafting building. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of slope stuff. The front face I feel like is actually the weakest part of it, because it's like 2 different fonts and colors, 3 different fonts even, and different colors and different levels of glow. It's a bit weird, but it's fine. I like the sides a lot, and I put the clean room here. Moving it was pretty painful. But the space on the top here is for more clean rooms for when I inevitably need to make more clean rooms. The back face of the building is, as usual, just kind of incomplete because I don't know how much space I actually need. I really like how the side looks. I think it looks pretty cool. Anyway, all that's left now is to finally hook up these machines to AE2, and then I can get rid of these, and then the autocrafting building is done. Oh, also, this employee is now named Soycake456, and he is hard at work. Now, we've done a lot today, and we're approaching kind of the end of IV, actually, because I can pretty soon make the assembly line. I just need to blast some Ruridit, so I'm gonna do that. And I'll start crafting assembly line parts probably next episode. For the rest of today, though, I want to look at better circuits. Specifically the quantum tier of circuits, which is one up from Nano, which is the one-step EV circuit, and I can upgrade it up to ZPM circuits. I need reinforced epoxy resin sheets, which are very easy to make. It's just carbon fibers or borosilicate glass fibers with liquid epoxy, both of which I have. Fiber reinforced circuit boards, which is totally chill as well, which can be turned into fiber reinforced printed circuit boards. This needs cupric chloride and a clean room, which I have, so again, this is fine. And I need qubit chips. This is an EV cutting machine clean room recipe, so that's fine. And the qubit wafers themselves are probably the hardest part of all of this. And this is an EV recipe that uses indium gallium phosphide, radon gas, and nano CPU wafers. I could also do it with quantum eyes and liquid gallium arsenide. I don't think it matters. Everything here is pretty easy to get. I'll probably do this recipe though. Oh no, I'm gonna do the top one, it's faster. Okay, cool. It might not be faster if you consider the time it takes to make quantum eyes and stuff, but I don't care. Once I have those things in place, I can make the quantum processors, IV clean room recipe, with kind of nothing new actually, besides the qubit CPU chips. And this large circuit assembling facility can absolutely do IV recipes. It's gonna do them fast too. These can be upgraded to quantum processor assemblies, and then into quantum processor supercomputers, again with nothing new. But to make the quantum processor mainframes, I need to scan it in a scanner, and then actually craft it in an assembly line. So I'm gonna get all the way up to supercomputers today, and then tomorrow we'll do the assembly line. Or maybe if there's still time, I'll start crafting it, and then we'll actually put it together in the next episode. Let me tell you right now, these crafted so fast. There was no downtime. Like I was just encoding, crafting, and it was done. That was crazy. One last thing I want to do today. I want to make the QuarkTech armor. For no reason other than I can. Basically. I can also upgrade the chestplate to advanced QuarkTech once I have an assembly line. But for right now, I just want to make this armor. And yeah, next time we'll look at assembly line. This should be fun. I don't know how I'm going to parallelize this. Oh, and I just remembered. I need to update my universal circuits to use the quantum ones instead. Cool stuff. I gotta charge this though. Still, cool stuff. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will craft and automate the assembly line, allowing us to enter LUV. Would you like to see Soycake456 do tricks for your entertainment? Then let him know in the comments. See you next time.